Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mackie. I hope you're all having a great day. My day is kind of so-so, and you're going to find out why that is. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I think the doll has cursed me, so let's get straight into the video. Okay, so the reason I'm making this video is ever since I got this doll, it's been repeatedly bad things happening. If you're not familiar with the doll in reference, this is her, Samantha. Just really take a good look. Ever since someone sent me Samantha, and if you're not aware of that, someone sent her to me anonymously in my P.O. box. So it was against my will, someone just sent her to me. So the first thing that happened, so I got Samantha, I'm looking at my TikTok right now because right when I opened the mail, I posted it on TikTok, and that was 6 days ago. So I got her 6 days ago. Here's the video.
Flowers and then all these necklaces, this thing, and then I went and started unwrapping bubble wrap. What?
That's her. In the flesh.
I'm interested in the paranormal. It is for that reason that I've decided to give you this haunted doll. Her name is Samantha. If you take great care of her, you should have no problems at all. What do you mean, no, if I take care of her? I can barely take care of myself. Oh my girl, your eyelash.
Wait.
I never wanted a doll, I never wanted a haunted doll. They're like one of my biggest fears.
Hold on. Oh my god. Just watching back that video right now, it made me just realize something. To be completely honest, I haven't really been taking care of her that well. Like the first few nights, she slept in my van outside, and I haven't really been talking to her. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do with a doll, but I haven't really been doing anything with her. So I definitely haven't been taking care of her. So maybe that's seriously why all this stuff started happening. Okay, so my last video, or a couple videos ago, I did a whole introduction to her, so go check that out. But okay, so this was 6 days ago. The night before, I had painted something on the side of the van, and then I got her and went back out to the van that night. I was gonna film with my friend Kelsey, so I was gonna go out to the van real quick and do something. And I didn't even notice this earlier in the day, but when I got to the side of the van and looked, the painting I had done was completely melted off. It was super weird. I've used this paint on all the paintings I've done on the van, and there's been rain and everything. Nothing like this has ever happened, and it always holds up very well. So I go out there, all the paint is completely dripped down it. It looked like someone had walked up to it with a spray bottle of some sort of chemical, sprayed it, and made all the paint melt off. Because the next day when I tried to remove all the paint to redo it, it took me 2 days to get it off. With soap and water, everything, it would not come off. So that was the first bad thing that happened. That was the same night that I got Samantha. I just thought it was the neighbors, didn't think it had anything to do with the doll whatsoever. So that's all in the same day. The next day, this is the first night she was staying at my house. To be honest, she slept in my car that night because I didn't know what to do with her. I was scared, so I just had her sleep out in the car. Then the next day, I noticed that a couple of my videos had been shadow banned, so on TikTok. So if you don't know what that means, it means that, say I get at least 20,000 views on my videos when I upload them. So if I upload a video and it is way less views than what is in my normal range, then it's a pretty good chance that you've been shadow banned and they're not putting you on the For You page or anything like that. So I had a couple of videos in a row just like completely shadow banned. It's easy to tell. I just made a TikTok that day saying like, is this happening to anyone else? Because also my For You page was only showing me videos from July. Like there was nothing recent. So I wanted to know if anyone else... Oh my god! I'm filming a video! Can you stop yelling? Okay, so I made a video on TikTok basically asking you guys if this had been happening to you, and literally everyone was like, no, that's not happening to me. So I was like, okay, what the hell? So basically from the point where I've gone Samantha, a lot of my videos have been getting shadow banned for some reason. I don't know. You guys can look on my TikTok and see that like from the video where I got her to now, it's like something happened. Okay, so the next thing that happened was the next day, or actually it was the same day as the shadow banning thing. So this was 4 days ago now. I'm outside working on the van once again, and this lady walks up and she's like, oh hello, like I'm with the Census, can I get all your information for your house? She said, I talked to your husband earlier today, he told me to come back later. I'm like, that must have been my dad. And she's like, oh okay, yeah, your dad. And so I've never done the census, so I was just like, all right, sure, whatever. She's like, it's just gonna take a couple minutes. So she asks for all of our personal information and she starts writing it down. And also this was at like 10 o'clock at night, and I just didn't know if that's like what they do, so I didn't really think anything of it. So it's 10 o'clock at night, she's writing down all my information. Okay, so I give her all my information, she walks away. I'm like, all right, that was easy, like I just gave her all my information. And so I didn't think anything of it till the next day. I'm standing outside working on the van once again, and a guy comes up, and this time it was like 8 o'clock at night. He's like, oh hi, like I'm with the Census, can I get all your information? And I was like, oh, I did it last night with the lady. A lady was here with the Census and I just did all of it with her. And he's like, huh, like that's weird. It's showing up that we don't have any of your information, that you haven't done it yet. I'm like, well, she came last night like 10 o'clock and I did it. And he's like, well, we stopped working at 9. And at that point I was like, oh no. And this guy had like a phone or some type of iPad that he had with him. The other lady had like a clipboard with a piece of paper. I was like, well, who did I give my information to? And he's like, well, what, do you have her name? I'm like, no, she didn't tell me a name. And he's like, I'm not sure, but all I know is we don't have your information and we stopped working at 9. So at that point, I was freaking out that I might have given my information to a random person. Those videos are on my TikTok too, so I was really scared that I had given out my personal information to a random person or something. And so I didn't give my social or my credit card number, so I was like, okay, at least they don't have that stuff, but I was still worried if they could access anything with all the information I had given them. I was really worried about that. I wake up the next morning to a text on my phone from the Chase fraud department, and it said someone had tried to charge my card for $188 at what was it, at a Ralph's, and there was another one for $26 at Carl's Jr. and another one at a gas station. So the Carl's Jr. one went through for $26, but the other one, my bank was able to catch it, so they declined it. So I woke up to that, and that's happened to me in the past before, not from someone stealing my card, but just somehow getting my information and trying to use it. So I was just like, okay, like whatever, like they're just having me cancel my card to get a new one, like no big deal. Then my dad walks in at like an hour later and is like, the whole back of your car is open. And not the van, I have a Jeep, so the back of my Jeep was open. And there's this box with all my hair care stuff in it for after surfing, and that box was on the sidewalk. So I was like, oh no. And so I walk out there, they had stolen a bunch of stuff, and I remember the day before my purse was unzipped, and I like made a turn and it fell out like onto the floorboard, and a bunch of stuff had come out, and I like forgot to pick it up or I didn't see it or something. So I go out there, realize my cards are gone, as well as my driver's license. So they had stolen that. They also stole my rinse kit shower that I use for after surfing. It's like a little portable shower. They stole this like $80 saw that my mom bought because she wanted me to use it on some tile that she wanted. So she left it in my car, so they stole that too. They stole this little knife I got. They stole a bunch of stuff, and I'm so lucky because I left my surfboard in my car that night. I usually don't, but I left it in my car. It's like an $800 board, and for some reason they didn't take it. So I was super happy about that. But they also broke into my neighbor's like porch patio area and stole some of their packages that were like $300. But in total from me is probably like a $500 loss. They were able to catch like the guy on their security camera, so I'll insert that video right here. So after that happened, this is 3 days ago, so within the past 6 days, this is everything that's happened. Something's happened every single day. Another thing that happened is I've just been having a lot of like technical difficulties with my phone and camera and laptop and stuff. Like I was trying to upload my van video, not last night but the night before, and it would not upload, and then all of a sudden my editing app crashed, and somehow because it crashed it completely deleted the whole edit I had made for the van video, so that was completely gone. I couldn't upload, and so the next day, which was yesterday, I had to re-upload and edit and everything like that. Now, I just uploaded another thing onto my TikTok right now. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but if you haven't, I'll explain it to you. So what happened is I was down at the beach yesterday. I go there all by myself all the time. If I just want to lay out and I'm bored, I'll go down to the beach and just lay on the sand, which is pretty normal. The beach that I was at and the time I was there from like 3 o'clock to 4, and not a lot of people go to this beach at that time, so it's pretty empty. And so I'm laying on the sand, and this lady starts walking up to me, and she's like, Miss, and I was like, oh, like, is she really trying to talk to me right now? So I was like, yeah. She's like, you can't be here all by yourself. And I was like, why not? And she's like, there's predators here. And I was like, okay. And she's like, you're gonna get kidnapped. And I was like, what do you mean I'm gonna get kidnapped? She's like, you can't come here 2 to 3 days in a row thinking that you're safe. And I go to that beach a lot, so the past 3 days, that is the beach that I've been at. So that started to freak me out, the fact that she said you can't be here for 2 to 3 days thinking you're safe, and I've been alone every time. So that made me feel like she had been watching me for 3 days. So I started to get a little nervous at that point, and this lady who had big sunglasses, a big wig with like blonde dreadlocks, it was clearly a wig though, and she had a bright pink jacket on the back that said Jesus saves. And I was like, okay, this is just weird. I kind of went back and forth of her saying I need to go home, and I'm like, I'm okay, I come here all the time, and her saying you're gonna get kidnapped. And she was by the end she was like pissed at me. She was like yelling. So she starts to walk away, and as she's walking away she goes, consider this your warning. And I was like, okay, did she just like threaten to kidnap me? Like, I thought she was just a Karen. I thought she was just like a pissed Karen for some reason. And so she says, consider this your warning, and that just gave me like a bad feeling in my stomach where I did get like scared. And so she walks away and I turn around and look, and there's this really creepy looking guy standing on the jetty just staring at me, and she walks right over to them and they start talking, so they were clearly together. So on the right side of me there's a group of about 4 boys that were probably like 6th grade age, and it looked like they were there completely alone. I don't think their parent was there. So the lady walks up to them and starts talking to them, and they all just looked scared and like uncomfortable, and I was like, okay, this is not good, like something bad is happening. And so she eventually walks away from them, and I'll insert a clip of what the lady looked like right here. It's not a lot of footage, but I tried to at least capture it in case something did happen. But she like turned around and looked at me, so I had to put my camera away. But here's a little clip of what she looked like. About 20 minutes after this happened, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go home. So I walked to my car and I filmed the whole TikTok. If you want to see the whole like thing I did on TikTok, you can go look. It's Mackie Albertson on there. And so after I'm done filming in my car telling what just happened, I put my phone down. I'm looking down at my phone like this. And every time I get in my car, I lock it right away, right when I sit down, because I'm always like paranoid. So I lock my door, I'm looking down at my phone, and at the same time on either side of the car, the driver's side and passenger side, I hear someone pull on the handles. And so I'm sitting like this and I go and look over, and the lady is standing right next to me and the guy is on the other side staring in. And I was like completely at a loss for words. I didn't know what to say. I was in complete shock. And she was like, just get out of the car, we just want to talk to you. Just get out of the car, we just want to talk. And I didn't even say anything. I just put it in reverse and started getting out of there. And they were just like, hey, like, wait, don't go, wait. And I was just going, and they kind of like walked after my car, and they just kept telling me to stop or not to leave. And so I just floored it out of there. I was gonna call the police, but I didn't want to, I just didn't want to be there. So I drove straight home. I was scared they were gonna hop in a car and follow me, but they didn't. So I made sure of that before I went home. So I got home, called the police, they came over, and I told them what happened. I told them what happened, that she was talking to the little boys, and they said they were gonna go check it out, but I didn't hear back from them. They said if they needed more information, they'd call me, or if it becomes an investigation, they'd call. So that's kind of where it leaves off. But I just want to say, always check your surroundings, always lock your door. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. There's always people like that out there, and you don't know what's gonna happen. I'm super lucky that I locked my doors. Now that we've gotten past all the physical things that have happened, I've been having the weirdest, scariest dreams of my life since she's been here. Like last night, I literally was in, it was kind of like sleep paralysis. I guess it was sleep paralysis, but it was more of like a dream. Like it didn't feel like I was just laying in bed like looking up. Last night, I was in a dream, but it was like my friend was spending the night with me, and we were talking about this stuff, about how, just like about haunted stuff, the stuff that's happened in my house, and I had like a really bad feeling the whole time, like I felt really scared. And then we're middle of the conversation, it's like the middle of the night, and I hear someone knock on the bedroom door, and we look under the crack of the door, because the crack in my room is like that big. Here, you can probably see it. See how it's like a big crack? You can see like if someone's feet are under there. Well, I'm looking at the door and we're like, who the hell is that? Because it's the middle of the night. And all I see are these little feet like that big. They look like little kids' feet, and like really skinny legs, like really skinny. And the door slowly starts to open, and I had like the worst feeling ever. Like I was about to cry. And it opens, and it's this little girl. She had brown hair that was messy and blue eyes, and she's standing there staring at us like that. And there's another lady behind her. So I don't know who this lady was. It was a Hispanic woman, probably like in her 40s, and she was just standing right behind her. and the little girl like started to walk into the room, and it was like just the most feeling of dread I have ever felt. Like, and I started trying to wake myself up. Okay, this sounds crazy. I was in a dream, and this is what I was trying to say in the dream. I was trying to say Jesus. It was super strange to me, but I was in the dream, and that's what I was trying to say to this little thing. So nothing's working. I can't get anything out, so I start to try and yell to see if like my mom or someone would hear me and like come wake me up out of this. So I started like, you know, like in your dream, like nothing comes out. So eventually, after doing that for a while and the thing getting closer, like at the last second, I was like, and I just like shot up in bed and was like freaking out. I literally got up, I don't even care. I went into my mom's room, like I just had like the worst dream. And you know how it's like way scarier in the moment, and the next day you're like, okay, like it wasn't that bad. But I think that was the most scared I've ever been from a nightmare in my entire life. It was absolutely terrifying. And every night I've just been having dreams about dolls of some sort. Not specifically her, but just any doll. It's really weird, like really weird. And they all have like a bad feel. I don't know if it like cursed me, or since I'm not taking care of her properly, it's like backfiring on me and causing issues. I just want it to stop. I don't know what I can do to make it stop. Let me know what you guys think I should do. I mean, Kelsey's doll Lola says that she's like a good spirit and she likes her a lot and they have fun when they hang out. So I don't know if she's just like, if a person like put a curse on me, I have no idea at this point. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm really like want to get out of this week, what this week has been. So Kelsey and Maddie spent the night the other night. They brought Lola, and Kelsey filmed overnight. I don't think she's gone over the footage yet, but I'm curious to see what that was. But we also did some investigating on my house. So we started, I'll include some of the footage because I didn't film that long because, so I've talked about him before. His name's CK. I was really close with him. He passed away. So he's apparently in my house all the time. And I can talk to him anytime. It's crazy. So if I say, hey Christian, can you knock on the wall? You'd literally hear knock knock right away. So me and Kelsey and Maddie are in my house trying to talk to him, and all of a sudden he just came through so strong. We talked to him for 2 hours. We heard his voice, him knocking on the walls, moving the dowsing rods. It was crazy. Kelsey filmed like pretty much all of it. I was just like so in the moment of talking to him that I just put my camera down and just talked. It was insane. Like you hear his voice clear as day on the Necrophonic app. Like I'm sure you guys know, like that app, the Necrophonic app, is always sounds like the same voices because Kelsey says it's a voice box that they can manipulate. So it's always the same voices, and sometimes the answers are really clear. Like you can hear a clear answer, but most of the time it's just like yes, yep, or just short answers like that. So when he came through, all the noise stopped, and it is just straight up his actual voice that none of us have ever heard on this app. His voice saying things, and it was like in the way that he would talk. Like one of them, he's like here, and he'd go like yup and nah, and just like the way he'd talk, the same exact like voice inflections he'd make. So it didn't sound like the Necrophonic app. It was full-on conversation. So I'll include some of that, like what I have in this video, because it's really short. Kelsey sent me one clip of it because, like I said, I wasn't recording any of the apps or anything because I was just so into it. So I'll include some of that. So that was one good thing that like happened this week, because it's the craziest experience of my entire life, having a full-on conversation like that with him. I know a lot of people are gonna think it's crazy, but it's like when you hear someone's voice like that, it's just like mind-blowing. But so I just want to come on here and update you guys of what's been going on since I got this doll. Let me know if you think I should like try and ask her questions to see if it's her doing this or what I should do with her. I really don't know. I think I'm going to be coming out with merch soon, so that's good news. Let me know if you guys would want to buy that, because I'm making some designs. So yeah, just let me know if you'd want any merch from like Vanny DeVito or anything like that. Oh, and continue to send me your scary stories. I see a lot of people like asking me, is it too late? Like, no, it's never too late. I'm going to be continuing to doing these subscriber scary stories, so keep sending them to me. My email and everything will be down there to send it to. I just saw that we hit 17,000 subscribers. I can't believe it, honestly. Like, thank you guys so much for making this all happen. I couldn't do it without any of you, and just like the fact that we've grown so fast is amazing to me, and you guys are all the best. You show me so much support, so I just want to say thank you so much for that. I love all of you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. And also make sure you go follow all my social medias. And I think the next video that I'm putting up on YouTube is going to be a van video, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.